So in this video, we're going to go over how we can use a calculator to evaluate trigonometric functions at certain angles. So we're going to want to go to Calculate, and the first thing we're going to want to do is make sure that we're even in the right mode. Right? There are two modes. There's radian and there's degree. So up here, you can see that it is in radian. Now, if you don't want radian, right, just click it, and it switches it to degree. So just by clicking that, you can switch between the modes. Another way you can do it is to come over to Document, Settings and Status, Document Settings, and then you see here Angle. You can switch between radian, degree, and don't worry about radian. Okay, then you just hit OK, and we're good to go. So let's go ahead and evaluate cosine and sine at 5 pi over 3. So there are two ways we can go about this. We can just type in cosine, COS, or if you come over here to trig, this gives you a list of all 6 trig functions, as well as the inverse functions. Do not worry about those yet. Those will be covered in a separate video. So cosine, now we want 5 pi over 3. So 5 down here, if you hit this button right down here, pi, then over 3, hit enter, and you get 1/2. So cosine of 5 pi over 3 is 1/2. So we can do the same thing for sine. Sine of 5 pi over 3, enter, and we get negative square root of 3 over 2. Now we want to evaluate all 6 trigonometric functions at the angle of 5 pi over 7. So again, we're going to want to use this button here, the trig button, and we're going to go through each one individually. So we'll start with sine. We want 5 pi over 7. Now, if you notice, it's giving me cosine of 3 over 14, and you might go, well, that's a little weird. Well, that's because it's trying to give an exact answer. So I can come up, hit enter. Now, instead of hitting enter, let's hit control, enter. Now it gives us an approximation. So that's how you'll get approximations. Another way to get an approximation, I'll show this in with cosine. Cosine of 5 pi over 7 is to put a decimal place after one of the numbers. So here I'll put it after 7, and then I can just hit enter, and it'll give me an approximation. So sine of 5 pi over 7 round up being to 3 decimal places, 0.781. Cosine round up being negative 0.623. All right, let's look at tangent. That's negative 1.254. All right, next up is cosecant. That is 1.279. Next up is secant. That is negative 1.604. And last but not least, we have cotangent. Which is 0.797. So that is how you would use a TI Inspire to evaluate trigonometric functions at certain angles.